Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4, and today we're looking at Voidfall. Voidfall? Hoo-hoo, that's a tough one for me to say. Now this is a 4X Euro-style game, really unique, huge footprint on the table, with lots of cool upgrades, and it's looking cool, an amazing Kickstarter game that is for sure. Oh, it's looking so sweet, but before we get into the main critique of today, let me just remind you of our podcast that we do every Sunday. Check the contents, the description down below to find out about our last podcast and how you can get involved in the show with the Q&A. It's 50% music and 50% Kickstarter news of the week, and of course Q&A, so thank you so much for listening to that message, and let's get on to the main feature of today. Lipstickpaddy, either, please take it away. Welcome to Voidfall. This is another big game on Kickstarter this week. Yesterday I covered Beast, which was on my anticipated list for this sector, but Voidfall was coming on my list, but I didn't know much about it until these last few days, and I've been doing some research on it, and it looks really cool. Now, because it's our 4X game, and which it is, but it's also a 4X mixed in Euro, so a Euro style game. This is not going to go head-to-head with Twilight Imperium. In fact, it will probably complement it, as it's a different type of game in that kind of region, right? Anyway, Ino Tools done the art, which everyone's thinking is fantastic. David Turtsey and Nigel Buckle on the design as well, so a strong team. And a good reason to come here for the Kickstarter exclusives. And my nose is a little bit twitchy tonight, so if I'm sneezing during this cast, I apologise ahead of time. I have a hanky with me. Now, it has actually done extremely well on this first day. I'm getting a Mexican cold because it's dropped into the low 30 degrees Celsius. Believe me, that's when people start getting a cold, between 27 and 32 in this city. That's classed as winter temperatures. Yeah, it's still growing, getting big, getting up there to 5,000 backers, so lots of anticipation on this one, big time. And I think the sci-fi pull in this niche market gets served well on Kickstarter, doesn't it? Now, it's Mind Clash Games. We covered their Perseverance last on the channel, which was another ambitious project, and we have another big ambitious project here. Don't let this image make it look small, because it has a big footprint. In fact, the tiles in the center are extremely big because they've got to do like kind of lots of things. Each faction is actually an old house, and they have their own technology trees that they go down, which is nice. And you're not just slinging a map in the middle and just duking it out. There's actually scenarios to do. So some scenarios could be a map full of trading, one might have combat in it, one might have lots of AI messing everybody up, etc. There's also a cooperative mode, which is probably the first time a 4X has been cooperative. That probably leans heavily off the solo mode, and you've got David Turtsey here, who is one of the industry experts on bringing solo modes into games that we've seen on Kickstarter. Interesting mechanic as well. Instead of having ships all across this middle section, you can only have 2 ships in one region, so it doesn't overflow a tile, and all this interesting stuff. So it's always going to look nice in the middle of the table, not got loads of plastic everywhere. Now, it says a maximum time. Maximum is 4 hours. That is kind of an expected thing with 4Xs. They're all grand experiences, aren't they? Now, this is classed as a Euro game, though, you are going to be trying to get points in the scenario to win. And people definitely, and it's saying over here that this Mindclash game specializes in medium heavy Euro games, and this game is in that category. It is medium heavy. There's quite a teach going in here, lots of iconography that one has to learn, and strategy. Now, there's minimum luck in this because a lot of what you're doing is deterministic. You can work out what you're doing will give you such an effect, and here everything you're doing is kind of giving you, excuse me, is giving you bonuses all the time, so you feel like everything you're doing that you're getting something good with, which is rewarding. It says reimagining the space genre with a Euro spin. Yeah, it's certainly a fresh idea. I like the player boards as well. There's lots going on that you can see here, and they've got an interesting track on the right hand side, the green, yellow, pink, blue and grey, white. That's a really cool track, that, because it's wheels in there that you turn into, get values in them, but it's all like done in a very neat package. It still looks kind of small here, but it is big. And it's not showing you here. There's another track that comes on to the left of this, which is your ship track, with all your tracking all the different spaceships that you have got. Now then. So yeah, the competitive solo mode, a lot of people will be interested in this, absolutely. And I think the cooperative mode could be a good way of teaching the game as well, especially if it's a heavy, medium heavy. It's called Voidfall because the Void are like the enemy types, enemy ships that are going to be annoying people in the game. And the Voidborn are a cunning, reactive opponent. It's getting quite popular that you can throw the AI opponent into other game modes though, so even if potentially you're playing 3-player, you could throw in the AI perhaps. It does say it's a 1 rule set but 3 game modes, and yeah, you could probably put that in, I would say. Yeah, house identifies everyone's got similar types of big ships though. There's nothing like asymmetric ships or anything like that. It would have been nice to have a certain house having a unique ship, but that might be stretched that they each have one big ship at the end. I don't know, but at least they've got their own technologies. In near infinite content combinations to discover, thematic scenarios to be going through, all the different technology that you might be going for, because if you're going for, if it's a military scenario, you're going to be wanting to go down the military track obviously, but, and I guess once you've gone through all the scenarios you can then do the open space, open world bit of it and duke it out. Now, standard box, I don't know why they call it standard, just come out and say retail box. $87 retail. And that's with a discount here. It's probably going to be a $99, I think, the MSRP. Now, the double-sided galactic one, the house sheets, the art actually slips into this. And these focus cards are actually going to push you towards what you can do that turn. There's 3 actions on each card, so you're going to activate a card and pick an option. They each tell you what it is on the left-hand column of the card. It is quite nice how it's been designed, and they will give you kind of an expected thing of what it is going to be doing there. So there's one. Oh, it's so hard to see them, isn't it? Development, I think the far left one is. That's going to be for building up your economy. I like the starting agenda cards because it gives people a focus going in, so they're not kind of overblown by different options. I do like that. The technology cards, every single one of them can be upgraded, which is nice. There's no tech tree per se. However, it's kind of like a level 1, level 2 tech cards. It would be nice to go to level 3, especially for that kind of late game in the 4-hour big, massive opera that you're playing. Yeah, these modular combat reference boards, this is what I'm referring to the, that's also going to join your player board. And there's the production dials looking sweet. It is a shame to look at the retail though when you see the spaceship fleet tokens, and still just would not be sitting with me that at all. You'd have to get the minis if you're going for this one, wouldn't you? Alright, so let's head down to the Kickstarter because we are... But we're kind of... This is what everyone's going to be jumping in, isn't it? So, a massive $158 package. That's coming in around the same price as Twilight Imperium, isn't it? Yes, it really is. So much of what you saw above, the unique stuff is going to be here, the upgraded components. This nice tray system, the box is going to be bigger. It will be embossed UV on the top, so you're getting a right Kickstarter nice box. The sculpts themselves, they attach to the top of the miniature spires here, so you can actually just pin it to it. That way you don't have to have loads of stand things. It is nice how they go on. The carriers themselves, I'm not too hot on that design actually. It looks more like a space station than a carrier. And shouldn't a carrier be laden with some kind of defences? I can't see any guns or anything on that carrier. And the dreadnought. This is where I feel like there should be some kind of house special ship, whether it's the, you know, mega ship. It's something in Twilight Imperium that I don't really enjoy is the fact that you don't get that. But for example, if you play EVE Online, there's 4, you could say, houses in EVE Online, and they each have their own Death Star essentially, which is a really interesting tech to get hold of. They are massive. Yeah, so these triple layered player boards. Triple layered? Why is it why do you need it to be triple layered? Well, essentially you're putting the art of the house inside the slot, and then you've got indentations going to that, and then ones below that. It's quite technical. It's not often we see a need for triple layered boards, but here it is. Corruption markers, these are cool. And I like the dice as well, the black dice, the red pips. Getting some extra sector tiles and all this good stuff, and a new faction to play. So they're calling it faction and houses. So it looks like one house sheet. Oh, the faction is House Kramador. Okay, I'm just trying to get these words. 2 extra scenarios though in here, and you're going to be, that's kind of the interesting part of it, is scenarios. There is this add-on set for metal military installation tokens and metal guild tokens. These are going to actually sit on the tiles of the planet here. This is what I mean about the tiles being really big. These shapes here are actually going to sit around the hex tiles. You can see the spots for the cogs and the triangles. Yeah, these metal things, the tiles are big. Oh yes. So that's a really good upgrade as well to get that. You'll have to add that into your all-in, and then you're going to be sitting on 35. It tells me the euro here, it doesn't tell me the dollar, but you're going to be upwards of about 200, aren't you? No, it's been blasting through most of its goals here. Extra scenario, the house got unlocked, the companion app. Now when it gets to these new chapters, the bottom of it is going to be in the galactic box because they're doing these chapters. We're probably not going to see chapter 3 until the second day of the campaign. And in euros, where are we now? Let's quick check. 600. So they've unlocked House Twagen, that new house. Triple layered sector tiles. Why did they need to be triple layered for the sector? It's kind of okay, if they need it, they need it. I'm guessing the main reason for triple laying is so you can turn over and use two sides, right? So you get more. Is that what it's saying here? Additional layer of cardboard on both sides with cavities for guilds, installation, and corruption units. So, yeah. Be interested to see what else gets stretched. Hopefully there's some kind of, like I said, house mini that's unique. But other than that, it's looking solid. And I think what we've seen with Final Fantasy is they actually did a playmat of where the tiles aren't. You've got like the stars of space on the table. That looks really cool, because I don't know what colour your table is, but when you start putting these tiles out, it would be nice if there was a backdrop of a mat underneath that was a space, you know, look like space, yeah? That'd be nice if the mat was added on. I like the corruption here, as you can see, spreading to the houses, and it's nice. I like that the tiles here can get the corruption blocking off a tile, it looks like here. There are the ships looking sweet. Does need a 6th ship for the mega ship, doesn't it? The mothership. Pew, 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 pew. This is just showing you the carriers. Carriers going up 1 in its upgrade, and I wish it was a 3rd tier for, like I said, late game. This is a good one. Carriers, though, you can have up to 3 units in each sector. That's really good. Agendas. Well, you've got to have your own scoring conditions, of course. Your policies. The asymmetric houses are going to kind of be, even though it's not stated that you don't get any lore or anything like that, you'll notice that some of these houses are more military focused, some are more trading focused and stuff like that. They lean towards that more. Well, the galactic box is not going to be sold at retail, so get on it. This is the big box. Super fantastic tokens. There's actually a good thing about the price being in euros, because in the FAQ it talks about the tax in the game in Germany, which has the lowest tax in Europe for board games, and it's cheaper than the US tax as well, so the VAT tax here will certainly be lower than what we're seeing on Kickstarter. Lots of reviews, and might see some more. There is going to be another playthrough going through it, which is going to be good. There's, you can watch live playthroughs with Shay from Radho's channel. Radho himself would have played it, but or Richard Ham, because he just didn't get the co-op rules in time. So that was unfortunate. You can kind of see here on the table the space grid on this red table mat. Just doesn't look nice, does it? But there is a co-op playthrough here, so yeah. The live Q&A is going to be good. You can float those questions in about where's the motherships? We want. Why can we not get technology at tier 3s? And this kind of stuff. And if you're getting an app, can we get some space music for the scenarios? I don't know. These are like little cute things. Faction art looks very, very nice. So I like the aliens that they've got here. And House Cortazar, with a big gun, he's going to be the military guy, you could guess. And Host Nuevo, the kind of peace symbols. Hey, my sneezing's gone away since I started doing the Kickstarter, so happy days. My little tissue's still going. House Asteron, I like this, the ice planet. They're coming from this ice planet, looking cool. And in fact, if you look at all these, they're kind of all in, most of them are kind of in suits, and the next house that's getting unlocked are more human in their form. Now, 90% language independence, which is going to be good, certainly for me. I'm the only English-speaking person in my play groups, but everyone's English is pretty good, pretty good. Sometimes there is translation over the table from someone who's not strong in English. But French and German is going to be coming, and probably Spanish. Yeah, I think it's been confirmed. Spanish and Portuguese, and there's going to be Russian. I like the fact that they're supporting Russia, because there's so many Kickstarters that won't send to Russia. And yeah, so nice that they're actually getting supported. Language under negotiation. I mean, if it's 90%, if you only need to translate 10% of the game, it's not that difficult, but potentially throwing it out to all of these countries too. Shipping and taxing. Not too bad. The big box is at $27. It is going to be fairly chunky and heavy. And the metal bit's going to fit in the box as well, so that'll be nice. We are asking for Mexico. We don't want to be at 70 here, because Mexico should be in the list with just a little bit more expensive than Canada on the new shipping rules that are in the USMCA, which is the US, Mexican and Canada trade agreement, shipping in the region. Not to mention, Amazon Shipping have just put a massive distribution center in Tijuana, which is on the border with San Diego, which means that they can quickly get products into Mexico and on the Amazon Shipping mega cheap. So hopefully us expats in Mexico and Mexican board gamers can get a fair shake coming out in the future. So we need to tip our hat to Donald Trump, AMLO, and the geezer up in Canada, Justin Trudeau, for that. You can pledge $1, and you should be pledging $1 because you'll get this price. If you late pledge, price will go up. And so there is that to be concerned about. Now, final thoughts on Voidfall. It's looking really good. I'll be checking out the Q&A and following this progress, and I'll see if there's any big other sci-fis coming out around this time. Hint, hint. There could be another big one coming out here. So, and I actually think only 2 updates. It's blasted through a lot of stretch goals. It could have done a bit more than this. Beast, the game I covered yesterday, had like, I don't know, 10 updates in the first 12 hours because they were blasting through stretch goals. It was kind of... And Beast is not as big as this one. I mean, this one's really taken off. Partly because the pledge level on this is quite high, whereas Beast is relatively cheap. And so yeah, you could actually pledge for the Galactic Box and Beast and still be spending less than 200. I'm gonna have to say euros, aren't I? To fit it under 200. But yeah, team, get more updates out, for goodness sake. Now then, so yeah, it's 19 days to go. There might be another space Kickstarter out there, and if one pops out, hint hint, I'll do a versus series to compare them both. But there is a solid one here, peeps. It's looking really good. I like the scenario focus, so everybody can get into the production and manufacturing side of the game and not worry about military too much. And then I like the fact that, come on, everyone's got to do military this time. So those scenarios are kind of focusing people down paths so that they get to explore their own faction technology trees. I think that's really cool. And then when you go into kind of the open universe world where you're doing a bit of everything in the 4X yourself around the table, you can bring in the AI to mix things up, and then you can really kind of play the Euro and go whatever bonuses you want and go for it in the 4X world. That's where it is really good. So you can basically bring your play group to it, play the scenarios, get them into working with their favourite houses, get them playing scenarios so they know the sides of the 4X, and then throw them in the big battle royale where the big 4X comes out, where you can go down any path you want. So I think what a journey Voidfall will have with your play groups. It totally will. But just remember, this is not a game for new people. Anyone who likes light project. This is medium heavy, and you need to be aware that your game group is up for this challenge. I'd actually put it at medium when it comes to a 4X, because of the scenarios and making it a little bit easier, and you've got the co-op so you can teach it, so I'll put it at a medium. But it's certainly, for me, I wouldn't bring this to my second play group, which likes gateway games and lighter games, and certainly not games that are 4 hours. Were my primary gaming group. They don't mind 4-hour games at all. Yes. Although it's nice to have 2 play groups, isn't it? One long, one shorter, I guess. And even if you're playing an hour game with a shorter group, it doesn't ever last an hour. It goes longer than an hour because everyone's talking and it's more social. Anyway, peeps, let me know what you think of Voidfall. Are you also waiting for the other game? Hint, hint. Yeah, I want to know. I want to know the buzz around this, peeps, because I know lots of people have been following this, and it is a bit of a good dream team, isn't it? David Turtsey and Ian O'Toole working together here, so very, very good indeed. And again, it's the space, and it's a space sci-fi that's done well here, and I really, really like it. So definitely going to be watching this, and I definitely maybe have enough in my disposable income to get one of these big sci-fis. But we'll just have to wait, because I do have the itch for a sci-fi. It always comes around this time of year. I don't know what's with it, peeps. I don't know. But luckily, we get served. We do get the sci-fis this time of year. And Circadian's First Light's well, I want to say second part of the trilogy should be coming out soon. So that's going to be thrown into the mix as well. That looks like a fantastic sci-fi with a shorter playtime. But yeah, that'll be... You can check that out on the channel when I cover it, and all that stuff. And yeah, so think about subscribing, peeps. So please give the video a thumbs up. Leave any comments you want down below, of course. We love all that. And yeah, if you like Kickstarters, check out our podcast. The links will be below in the description. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. This has been Kickstarter Radio 102.4. You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now. Pew, 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 pew.